want to talk to you about what is happening with the Hajj, why we are in this situation that we're in right now for the Hajj. Subhanallah, this is going to be a disaster. So the government, MBS, all of them, are they taking orders from the Dajjal or the Dajjalic system? Are they being influenced when it comes to making this kind of decision to really muck up the whole Hajj season at this time? A lot of people are very, very angry, frustrated, and they're saying that how dare they are playing with this occasion of Hajj, a sacred journey for the Muslims that we make. So people are asking questions, people are raising questions. Is this something Saudi Arabia is doing on purpose? Because I mentioned in my channel in other videos about the end of time and Hajj, how they are related. Obviously, we have never seen what we are seeing right now in the past, subhanallah. I mean, there was never a time when people are so uncertain about about this particular worship of Allah Azza wa Jal. So the government now, if we say they are taking orders from the Dajjalic system or they are being influenced by the Dajjalic system, then obviously we have no evidence to support it. We do not have any evidence to suggest that Saudi Arabia, MBS, they're trying to influence the Muslim and their faith in a negative way in order to prevent these Haji, this Hujjaj, to come and do the tawaf of the house of Allah Azza wa Jal. So going back to the end of time relation with Hajj, as I mentioned, لا تكن الساعة حتى لا يحج البيت. Rasulullah said that there will be no end of time until people will stop, or there will be no Hajj at the end of time. And also we know the end of time, one of the other qualities that that we find in the hadith of Rasulullah SAW is that the people min shirarin nas man tudrikum sa'uhum ahya'un. Allah says that the worst of people will be living at the end of time. So the brother asked a question about the Euphrates River gold. We'll talk about that in a second, but let me finish with this one first. If we say that Saudi Arabia, they're not influenced, rather they're very righteous people, the caretaker of the house of Allah Azza wa Jal, they're very righteous, they're salihin, then obviously you can easily refute that by saying that, look, Saudi Arabia is building a palace for the Dajjal. If you have not watched that video, maybe you can take a look. In that video, the people who made this video, they explained how Saudi Arabia is actually building a palace for the Dajjal. So you can easily say, because that happened, so it is going to be very obvious that now Saudi Arabia is taking order from the Dajjal in order to prevent the Muslims from coming for Hajj. You can say that. But I would say this. No, Saudi Arabia is not taking orders from anybody. This is my opinion. This is my understanding. They are not taking orders from any Dajjalic system in order to stop Hajj. Stopping Hajj is going to be having a negative impact on their economy, because during this season of Hajj, Saudi Arabia actually makes a lot of money. They profit from this Hajj industry quite a lot. If you take out all other revenue sources from Saudi Arabia and you just do one thing, which is Hajj, then Saudi Arabia will be able to benefit from it a lot, because a lot of people go there, thousands and millions of people go there and they spend money. All this money go to Saudi Arabia government. Now, what they are doing, as we all know, they're trying people from Western countries to have them book their Hajj through online directly from Saudi government. This is going to have a disastrous consequence for the Hajj industry, especially from UK. What I have read today, people are panicking in UK. The travel agencies, they are really, really upset with this decision. Their business is over. But nevertheless, Saudi Arabia government, they want the entire money to be added to their economy, to their own profit. When we talk about the end of time, as I said, the Dajjalic system, it is active, it is up and running with full force. we can never say anything with certainty that some decisions by making being made by the Muslims are not being influenced by the Dajjalic system. We can never say that. We're living at a time when none of these things are happening because righteous people are holding power. It is quite the opposite. But one thing we have to understand, dear my sisters, Hajj is something that will continue on even so even when Yajuj and Majuj will be out, people will still make tawaf. The Hajj will come at the very end of time. Okay, Rasulullah said when he said the hadith, if you take a look at the commentary on this hadith, you will know that Hajj will stop at the very end of time. Means there is nothing left. People, as I said, will not even take the name of Allah. لا تقم الساعة حتى لا يقال الأرض Allah Allah. The time will come, the end of time will not be established until there will be no one on earth saying the word Allah Allah. There will be no one taking or mentioning that name. So right now, as we are seeing that situation is getting a lot worse. Last year we had only few hundred or maybe few thousand of people. I think it was like 60,000, if I'm not mistaken. I think 60,000 or 62,000 people who went to Hajj. This year they're increasing the number, but at the same time they're now it could be that Saudi Arabia now trying to make up for the loss they suffered during the pandemic, and so now they're saying you need to book your Hajj through us directly so that you pay us directly. We are not getting a cut from your travel agency. We are getting the money directly from you. So that could be a possibility. Saudi Arabia, they have realized that we need to make up for our losses. So if it is at the end of the day all about business and money, which according to many people is the case, that Saudi Arabia is now becoming more like a business entity. Hajj is becoming a season for making profit and a lot of money. If this is the case, then of course indirectly I would say this is a Dajjalic way of thinking. Because if I go to the masjid and the masjid says, well, you cannot come to the masjid unless you pay $10, then that masjid is really not a masjid. It's a business center, right? It's a business. And so same situation is for Saudi Arabia, for Hajj. You come to us, to our country, you have to go through our system and pay us directly. That means it's a business. Saudi Arabia is turning the Islamic worshipping ibadah as a business. This is not good. This is the Dajjalic way of looking at thing. Again, I will not say this is being influenced by Dajjal directly or indirectly, but I would definitely say this is not a way for the righteous people who are taking care of Hajj every year. You need to really respect the fact that people are coming to your country, to Mecca, to do their Hajj and Umrah, and you need to facilitate them, not make it harder for them. Right now, a lot of Hujjaj, they are canceling their trip. They are very upset, especially from Hujjaj from Canada, UK, US, Australia. They are very, very upset with this, and they are saying we waited for the Hajj for so long. Now when we are about to go there, voila, like it's all null and void. We are indeed living in a very interesting time. Would this have any impact on our iman, on our aqidah, on our faith in Allah Azza wa Jal? It depends the way you look at it. But if I am supposed to be making Hajj next year to Saudi Arabia, I would not be happy until I find out I can actually go there, because they change things. They are coming up with new policies, new way of booking flights and whatnot. So this is going to create some qualm among people, and they would not enjoy They will not even have the khushu that, hey, I'm going for Hajj, it is confirmed. They will be like, I booked for Hajj, I do not know if I'm going or not. This is not something good. This is obviously going to have an impact on our iman for sure, our khushu for doing Hajj, our enthusiasm. I mean, if this will turn a lot of people off, if this continues on for the next 2 3 years, a lot of people will get turned off and say, forget about it. I'm not going for Hajj because look at what they're doing. Changing policies all the time. This is going to discourage a lot of people. So, subhanallah, this is going to have an impact, and this is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. If you're not able to worship, Allah Azza wa Jal in His house, going to Mecca and fulfill this one of the pillars of Islam, then you will become very upset and discouraged to practice your faith. I have one brother the other day saying, I will go for Hajj. Now, I'm sure these people will be thinking, should I actually go? What should I do? This is not the way of the Mahdi. This is not the way of righteous people. This is not the way of how our pious predecessors followed. This is a new system. This is very, very strange, and this is only going to bring more inconvenience for the Muslim, for the believers. If you're new here, inshallah, you can subscribe to this channel. I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.